Welcome to another Speakers on Edge. We're doing 15 minutes of fame. Today, we have a voice of vision with a message that really matters. My guest today is Craig. Craig, who are you?
I'm a guy that's had the unique ability to alchemize everything I've been through and grow through my pain. And I say that because I believe it's important. I have a message to humanity, and it's simple in its complexity. You don't have time. And whatever it is that you're going through, keep going through it. Because on the other side of the fear that's holding you back is that story. It's that story with the emotional attachment that is hindering you from growing through your pain. And I just want to take a moment for you to really understand that you have a unique ability to transmute everything that you're going through right now. So don't put any more fear into the time that you have. That's my story. I'm sticking to it, Jay.
What do you mean transmute the fear? What sort of problems are we talking about that we could transmute immediately?
Immediately or stinking thinking. It's making decisions. It's having the ability to say, hey, you know what? From this point forward is how I'm living my life. And once you make a decision to do that, everything starts to change. You can manifest. I like saying we walk parallel lives. And when you start changing your frequency and dial into exactly who you are, the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are. It's how you think. And when you start thinking different and releasing all the stuff that society says that you have to do, you change your frequency and you start dialing into the quantum field. It's the human Wi-Fi. And I've had the ability to do that as I was battling cancer.
Okay, now you said you were battling cancer and that you've got this ability to do something. Can you just give us a bit of a background why I should be listening to you?
Well, I was a 9/11 respondent to the World Trade Center, and I've had many unique experiences, but that one right there held a lot of tension, a lot of negative energy in my life, and I ended up developing carcinoid tumor in my lung, and they ended up taking my mid and lower lobe of my right lung out, and going through all the procedures. It's been a 13-year battle, and the pain that I went through wasn't able to be helped with morphine, Dilaudid, Percocets. It was just clouding my judgment and making me not a nice person. And I really had to understand myself because I was a drug addict in my teens, how to wean myself and stop and learn something different. And that's when I started studying epigenetics, heart and brain coherence. And I did that literally for 6 years in my living room.
What's been the greatest change that you've enabled since learning that?
My ability to just shut everything off and no longer be in that woe's me. And why not me? Because I'm a unique experience as a human. I'm here to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. And I've learned a technique that for me is very powerful. And I'll give you a quick example. I was told 4 different times that they were going to be treating me for cancer, and they'll only write once. However, I have the scars, the physical scars and mental scars of all 4 times. And it was this last September that they told me that I was probably had synovial sarcoma, and because I just had my 14th knee surgery, and it wasn't healing until November. I went back to the doctor, and the doctor had said, I believe you have synovial sarcoma, and that is the reason why your leg is not healing. And 5 minutes later, he addressed me and said, you're the first patient that I've ever potentially gave that diagnosis to, and you laughed in my face. I have the ability to do that. I have the ability to shut everything down and just start laughing because I understand what suffering, misery, self imposed isolation, self sabotaging modes, like all the things that go along with being a high end earner and then not being able to Pay for the light. Pay your bills.
And so for anyone watching this today who is that high-end earner and they know inside, but they don't want to understand that there's something wrong, what would be the best piece of advice you could give them today to get them through whatever it is they're going through?
First thing they got to do is look in the mirror. Take accountability and responsibility for your life. That was one of the hardest things for me, was actually looking at myself as the root cause and problem, because we all are. See, everything outside of us really doesn't matter. It's everything inside of us that will change once you alchemize yourself, because we have one of the greatest pharmaceutical sets within us. And most people are looking to the external world for pharmaceutical stuff to actually change us, help us. And nobody's coming to save you. It's only you versus you.
You say we've got the greatest pharmaceutical system in us. So if we've got that great pharmaceutical system in us, why do we get sick?
We get sick by holding in our emotions. We're emotional beings. So as we're holding everything in, I did this for the longest time, and I held everything in. And I found myself getting sicker and sicker. When I started verbalizing and just pushing myself to the external world and getting rid of all of this bad energy, I started to realize that I tapped into something inside of me that started to make me feel different. You ever get scared and you have that queasy feeling inside of you? Well, you can alter that all on your own. I was a very reactionary person. I wanted to be the loudest in the room, but it was just showing my emotional insecurities. Once I started tapping inside of myself, I started to realize that I have this light being, this source energy, this thing that makes our heart pump without us even realizing it. The thing that makes you, if you're right-handed or left-handed and your phone rings, just instinctively grab it. We're programmed from a very early age, from 0 to 8, I believe, is our software, and we need to download a different software. We have to sit time in our temple right here. This is the only real estate we can own. However, most people don't want to understand who they are for themselves. Everybody always wants to say, I want to do something for my kids. I want to do something for my spouse. And it's like, what about doing something for you?
Most people don't understand who they are. Your words.
Yeah.
What happened to you that made you sit back and realize who you are? Was there an epiphany moment, or was it a culmination of different events, or was it a smack over the head?
It's my life experience. It took me the longest time. I used to speak at convention centers on real estate finance. I was always a blue collar guy. I never really understood the white collar experience. And I used to get accolades and stuff for being the guy with the information. I'd walk off stage and I thought less of myself, because at 40 something years old, I think it was like 47, I started to deal with being molested as a child, going through drug addiction in my teens, bankruptcies, losing houses, losing cars, losing in life because I wasn't tapping into who I was. And it took me a very long time to be able to understand that we are light seeking the human experience. And I believe most people that go through the things that I've been through, catastrophic events, numerous catastrophic events, you set yourself up for an emotional failure if you don't express yourself. See, I no longer care what somebody says about me, because I understand whatever they're saying is based off of their experience. Most humans on planet Earth aren't really experienced in overcoming themselves. And this is the reason why I believe I'm here on this volcanic meeple, is to help humans understand and tap into their inner being.
So how can somebody tap into that inner being? What is one simple thing that they could do to help them tap into who they truly are.
Stop living for other people. Just stop. Whatever chaos is in your life, just stop. Rationalize. Think about it. Sit. Just sit. I had a great coach one time.
I got to interrupt you on this because I want to play devil's advocate here, because let's just play the I've got a family, I've got 3 kids, 2 dogs, a cat, a partner, I've got work, I've got family, I've got all these things, and you're telling me I've got all these responsibilities, I've got a mortgage, I've got student loans, I've got all this weight on my shoulders, and you're telling me I've got to look after me?
What happens
Hang
if you
on.
die? What happens if you die?
I got insurance.
Well, you know what? We all know about the insurance industry, and sometimes it just doesn't pay out.
Yeah, but my point here is we have what we perceive as responsibilities.
Yes, we all have responsibilities.
And so when we look at those responsibilities, how can we take what you're saying and integrate them with our responsibilities so that we don't end up living on the street, homeless, and without our relationships, without our kids, but we can still look after ourselves and be empowered through it? What would you say we could do?
What I'd say is what my message is stop. See, chaos is all outside of us, right? But we are literally with ourselves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So we're literally always thinking, why not, for 1 minute, just stop. Take out a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, write the pros and cons of your life, shut off the TV. The greatest distraction in the world is outside influences. Tap into your inner being, and everything else starts to slow down. Take responsibility for your family, for all the chaos that you have, your kids, the business, all of this stuff, because it's just stuff. Unload your stuff. And by doing that, it's going to help you actually alchemize your life to where you start looking better. You start feeling better. When the little kid's coming up to you and just like, I need this, I need that, I need this. Well, you know what? I need 10 minutes. Go back, sit in your room over there. Don't watch TV. Take the device. Matter of fact, give me the device. Read a book. Stop being a parent. Everybody pays a vig for something. There's a part of you you're never getting back. So why not become the house? The house always wins. And this is what most people don't understand. You need to just stop. Shut it down. And if you're saying, I have all of these things, and we all have 24 hours in a day, man. Look to people that are actually alchemizing their life. Look to people that are actually where you want to be in life, instead of all the external distractions of sports and the circuses of life, man. Slow it down. Sit back, eat some popcorn, enjoy your life.
And how are you helping people? What happens if somebody contacted you?
So
what would you do?
So here's the thing. I get the contact when life is, they've ran through all of their what they thought was solutions and nothing actually worked. That's when I get the call. And I've realized through a long time ago that I would get the call because I grew up in a Sicilian household. So it was like, I don't do phone calls, I do videos because I want to watch the expressions on people's faces. I want to watch the facial tics. 7% of communication is what we say, 93% is body language. And most people are afraid to just express themselves. Slow down. Neurological linguistic programming. It's words and phrases that we use that we can catch. And I catch myself all the time, as I was saying before. I'm just a young guy, man. I just turned 60. I'm learning all about this stuff all over again, about who I am and what I'm able to tap into. And I have a lot of successes with people because I'm not here to fleece people. I'm here to help people grow and move on in their experience. And that is my ability. That's my gift. This is the reason why I open it up every day. It's called the present. Most people don't want to open up that gift, man.
And it's also the reason why when I started the show and I said, we have a voice of vision with a message that matters. And that message is to stop. That message is to look after you. And more importantly, if you get stuck with that message, whoops, hang on, he's on that side of my screen. He's on that side of my screen. Hang on, which way am I looking? He's over there. That's a guy to contact. So where can people find you?
CraigSotkovsky.com. That's where I send
Excellent.
everybody.
Yep. And we'll also have your photo on our 15 Minutes of Fame guest page on the speakersonedge.com website, so they can find you there. Craig, you have been a voice of vision with a message that mattered. And I want to thank you for being here today. It has been an absolute joy having you on the show. And folks, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.